Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Well, it's definitely winter, and it's clear, crisp skies right now. I tell you that. The moon, it just looks as clear as could be. It's really, really bright. About 7/8 of a moon, and it's beaming some light out here. So here we are. It's a sipping rum. I'm going to try and sip on it during this thing. Yeah, that's much better. You sip on it, you don't get that quite burn where you want to, no, you sip on it. That's what a good quality rum's about. We're going to sip on it. So tomorrow, to me, is a big game. This team, as it's constructed, will never be exactly the same. Every year, every team is different. And it's crazy. But that's just the way it is. There'll be a few new players, a few new coaches. Oh, speaking of possibly new coaches, I did a video earlier talking about Kellen Moore that he's really interested in the Boise State job. Well, it turns out he's actually in negotiations and had, whoa, stop. Hold on. He's had an interview with the Boise State. I didn't say negotiations. That may be getting too far. At least that's what's being reported right now. So it's looking more and more like Kellen Moore is going to be no more in Dallas. That maybe it's going to be 2 more games, and that's it for Kellen Moore here. And I'm curious how you feel about that. Michael's like, good, get him out of here. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like Kellen Moore, and I dare say that Dak Prescott liked Kellen Moore a lot. Dak Prescott also liked Jason Garrett a lot. And you could look at the situation right now that, I mean, it's hard to judge. You know, some people will say we are better off with Jason Garrett than we are with Mike McCarthy. I dare say that this year is hard to judge anything on because having COVID, having new coaches coming in without an off season, without being able to physically work with the players until, August, and you had 2 weeks of conditioning and 2 weeks of practice and not a single preseason game, it's hard to judge. Now, the funny thing is this is where you really know that the NFL is a week-to-week league. We beat the 49ers, right? We got nothing to play for. 49ers actually had something to play for last week. 49ers lose to us. They allow us to score all kinds of points. Yet, they play against the Cardinals, a much better team, or at least on paper you think they're a much better team, and they go through and they beat the Cardinals. They shut down Kyler Murray and crew. You look at a team like the Jets. Jets were 0-13 and looked like they couldn't even get out of their own way. And yet they got a win last week. So from a week-to-week standpoint, you just don't know. You really don't know. You could look at the Seattle Seahawks and say Russell Wilson was on an MVP tear, and then they've kind of cooled off. So hypothetically, when you start looking at teams like, say, the Steelers, do you think that they are as good as their record says they are? They were 11-0, but they've lost 3 games straight. I know they beat us. I know one of you trolls out there is going to say, hey, but they beat you. Yeah, they barely beat us. But this is where the NFL is crazy, and I guess this is one of the reasons why you got to watch, because you just don't know. And with Washington playing against Carolina, who knows? Carolina might get that win. You don't know. But if Kellen Moore is no more in Dallas, I wish him the best of luck with Boise State. I hope he does well. And I hope that we get a great offensive coordinator, because I think back to, say, Norv Turner. You got to look at Norv Turner and say he had more success in Dallas than anywhere else. Norv Turner, great assistant coach. I'm going to say not a great head coach. And some guys are better coordinators than head coaches. But I'll say, when you had Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, best offensive line of football, you had Emmitt Smith, it's a little easier to call plays than when you don't have players. So whoever is the offensive coordinator, if Zeke comes back healthy, and we know Zeke wants to play because he wants that 1,000 yards, he needs about 168. I think he needs 168 yards to make that 1,000-yard season. If you get a healthy Zeke, if you keep Tony Pollard, of course, in a third down role, if you re-sign Dak Prescott, if you have Amari Cooper, who stayed healthy all season, if you have a Michael Gallup, you have a CeeDee Lamb, you have a Blake Jarwin, and you have a Dalton Schultz, and if you can get back Tyron Smith for 10 games, you get back a Lyle Collins, and Tyler Badass is as good as you think, and Connor Williams can stay healthy and continue to get better, then the job of the offensive coordinator would be a very coveted one that you could have a lot of different choices that you can do with this team. Yeah. I guess Boise State is not trying to wait until the end of the NFL season. They want to get somebody. It's been a long week. They want to get somebody in place right away to start building this team, and I can understand the urgency on that. On the flip side of it, I'd like for us to be concentrating on this game against the Eagles. Is it too much to ask to beat the Eagles so that way Joe Boo doesn't lose his head and I don't have to listen to freaking Eagle fans all off season? Isn't that important enough for you guys to at least focus in on a game plan for tomorrow? Trying to coach for a win. I need a win in the worst way. I need a win so bad. Oh God, I need a win. Speaking of wins, technically, if we want to go about it, I'm trying to understand this, but Minnesota losing today helped us because of strength of schedule. Minnesota having the loss ends up meaning that win wasn't as big of a quality win. Now, for some reason, they say that San Francisco winning today helped us. And I'm sitting here thinking the same thing, though. We beat them. Doesn't that mean the strength of their schedule ends up getting tougher? But for some reason, they said 49ers winning helped us. I don't know how. I mean, other than that, I guess if they're a game ahead of us. That's probably what it is. It's probably not about strength of schedule. It's the fact that they have one more win than we do. Then that helps us to keep it in there. I don't know. It's really a mess. It's crazy, and I just don't know. Right now, the only thing I'm worried about, I'll worry about the draft position because we got 126 days before the draft. I'll worry about the draft position after we're out of the tournament. Okay, how about that? So in the meantime, I'm hoping that the Dallas Cowboys take some names and kick some ass tomorrow, because I'd really like to be able to talk a little smack on the Eagles. I really would. Because if I hear one more time from an Eagle fan, well, I can go through and say, the Cowboys won like 37-10. The first game of the season. Oh, but that one don't count. You only count the one at the end of the season because that was for playoffs. It's like, oh Lord, here we go. Here we go. So you won 17-9, and that's a bigger victory than 37-10. Okay. I just don't want to hear it. I'd like to be able to say, you know what, Eagles, we beat you when it counted because we still kept our playoff chances alive by kicking you in the teeth. By kicking you in the teeth, okay? So shut up. Well, Kellen Moore, it was nice knowing you. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for the hard work. Best of luck wherever you go. I'm going to go to bed now. We're going to be doing live streaming for the Giants game tomorrow, 1 o'clock. And we'll be doing the Washington game as well as the Dallas Cowboy game right on through. We'll be going for about 7-8 hours straight. Last week it was 10.5 hours. So I need my rest and I need my voice because I'm going to be yelling at Philly 500. Oh, I'm going to be yelling at Philly 500 and hopefully yelling for a win. I'm Mark Holmes and I'll see you soon.